Hey guys, Jay here.
And Nick.
Welcome to the 1 week EOB Dominion Extravaganza.
We've both been eyeing Age of Sigmar from across the way, but the 3rd edition and the new Dominion box have got us hooked.
Now the hardest thing to do in all of wargaming is actually finish anything. So how are we going to do it? Because it would be so easy to let all of this stuff sit in a pile of shame. Well, we're going to do it together, and we'll keep each other accountable. It's a 2-player game, but maybe the painting and modeling should be 2-player as well. Now luckily, we're Games Workshop shills, and GW was nice enough to send us a box. And I think it's almost here. All we had to do is go get it. It would probably be more accurate to say Games Workshop shipped a box to a store near us, and then we pre-ordered it. Then it came in and we picked it up, paying full price. But we really appreciate Games Workshop thinking of us. Are you gonna open it, or should I? All right, let's tear into this box. Yeah! Like 5-year-old children on Christmas morning, we tore into the box, fueled by our desire for Age of Sigmar and our hopeless addiction to plastic crack. All right, we now have Dominion, but we don't want this to become more junk on top of our piles of shame. So we're giving ourselves a challenge. 7 days, 1 week to completely build and paint all of these models. I'm gonna take the Stormcasts, and Nick can have whatever's left.
I mean, the Cruel Boys are the coolest part of this whole set.
You think you can do it in 7 days?
Of course.
All right, good luck. Get out of my house. Take your base with you. These boxes from Games Workshop can be a real problem if you just buy them. It's too much stuff all at once. But if you go halvesies with a buddy, it all of a sudden becomes an amazing opportunity to work together to quickly overcome a great big pile of plastic. It's about 8:30 Monday morning, the first day of the Indomitus Challenge, and I am sitting down and I'm ready to work. I am super pumped to start Age of Sigmar. In about a week, I will have a finished Age of Sigmar army and be playing for sure. There is no chance of failure here.
Before we even knew Dominion existed, I was all in on Age of Sigmar. The models are absolutely beautiful, with my all-time favorite being the Gloomspite Gits. And when I said I'm all in, I meant it. I bought this box in late January and haven't touched it since. I definitely have a problem where I get really excited about projects, and then I leave them to do something else. Or sometimes a project is a little more than I can handle. I can say this for a fact, I have never finished anything in my entire life. The Dominion set's coming at a perfect time for me. I'm ready to try something different and actually maybe finish something for once. It really helps that Jay and I are doing this together, so when we finish, we have the excitement of trying a new game.
I am super duper looking forward to painting up Undrasta. I might even do a little bit of kit bashing so that she looks as cool as she does on the cover of the Age of Sigmar rules. And I'm also really pumped for the Annihilators. They might as well change the name from Annihilators to Terminators, because they're basically 40k Terminators in Age of Sigmar form. I am super duper pumped. I have my nippers. I have my sanding sticks. I got my knives. I am ready to start cutting out some minis. Wow, it has been a while since I built this many minis. I wonder how it went for Nick. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, I built and based all the models.
Same for me, I tried out this new thing with the bases. I like to build up height, but I used super glue and sand instead of my usual super glue and cat litter.
Ah, did that work out?
Kind of. It worked well on the small bases, but actually warped the big old 60mm base slightly. It was so much glue it couldn't handle it.
Wow, the glue warped the bases. What I noticed putting together so many models was I never assembled push-fit models in my entire life.
Really? Did you use any glue?
Yeah, I glued everything together with plastic glue, except some of the gut rippers. I left off the shields for ease of painting.
I didn't use any glue, all friction fit, baby. A whole day of building with no fumes, except for the massive amount of super glue fumes from the bases.
Speaking of fumes, I tried out adding texture to the ruins on the Kiloboss base decorations. I took Tamiya Basic Putty and stippled that onto the base to create some texture.
Nice, how did that work?
I think it worked out great. It dried super quick. I'm excited to give that piece a dry brushing to see if the texture really makes the ruins pop more.
I did something similar with mine as well. I am super excited to now have an Age of Sigmar army.
Yeah, me too. I'm sure my still unsprue Gloomspite Gits are jealous right now. The Crew Boys right now are my most put together army. Well, strong first day.
Absolutely, this is the foundation that's gonna carry me throughout the whole week.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good night. Day 2, it's 9 o'clock in the morning-ish, and it's time to get to work. I wanna prime everything, and I'm gonna set a goal for myself today. I want to have one model finished, painted today.
Now, to be honest, I don't have much of a plan. I tend to overplan my projects, which I think is why they become not fun over time, just because I plan all these things out, I want all these things to be perfect, and it's just not going to be, and I don't let myself just experiment, just try things out, try different paints, try different things, and I think that makes it not fun for me. So I'm just gonna start painting these guys, and it might turn out badly, but it might turn out great.
I want to have one model finished, painted today. Probably this guy, the little bird dog. Time to get to work.
Big old day of painting. I wonder how things went for Jay. Hello.
Hi.
How did today go?
It was certainly more enjoyable than yesterday. Today I worked on all the gold, which is a huge chunk of this army. I ended up using a lot of colors to pull it off. I started off doing a zenithal type thing with a red-brown and then a yellow-brown. Then I glazed on top some brass and gold paint using the airbrush. Then I finished it off with some selective brown and orange washes. It was quite a process, but it means every model is coming along nicely.
I had a similarly experimental day. I got all the skin done on my Hobgrots. I applied a base coat of an orange-brown, then a bright orange from above, then a little super bright orange and pale yellow. I did all that with the airbrush.
Sounds like we had very similar days. For me, what made it fun was I barely touched a paintbrush. It was all airbrushing, dry brushing, and washes. Easy steps that made big changes.
I had to do a little bit of brush base coating. My orcs are not as clean as your fantasy space marines.
All right there, guy. Still feel like you're on track to finish?
Absolutely. Plenty of time.
All right, talk to you tomorrow.
Alright, so it is day 3, and I'm still base coating the Hobgrots, and hopefully I can start working on the other Cruel Boys today.
It's just about 9 o'clock on day 3. I have one model completely finished. I want to have more finished today, but now it's time to paint all of the blue. I want to have all of the blue done today. Ooh, time to get to work. Another fun day of painting all the things. It is very interesting. Let's see how it went for Nick. Hey, how's it going?
It went. I had a little bit of a disaster because my paint wasn't working. None of my green paints would cover at all. I've had them for 7 years and I have not taken care of them. I even tried shaking them up by taping them to a scroll saw. I ended up airbrushing everything, and that was the only way I could get things smooth. And I didn't realize my green paints didn't cover until after I airbrushed the leather, so I had to be very careful when airbrushing the green as well.
That sounds harrowing. I also had a hiccup last night. I could not decide what color my accents were gonna be for these guys. I took photos, I popped them into Photoshop and played around with the colors before still landing on blue.
Of course.
But it was a slightly lighter shade of blue.
Were there any other contenders?
Purple and red were both neck and neck, but I chickened out and landed on blue. I mixed up probably way too much of the color and then put it into a condiments cup. Today was 100% airbrushing and paintbrushing this mixture onto the models.
Nice. Besides airbrushing, I finished up the base coating on my Hobgrots and gave them a black wash on their armor.
Neat, still looking good to finish?
Yeah, why not?
All right, see you tomorrow. We fell asleep that night to visions of orcs and Stormcast because of the support we receive on Patreon. If you enjoy the videos we make, you might consider becoming a member. Over there, you'll gain access to some behind the scenes, voting on what models I paint live here on YouTube, a live hobby hangout every week, and more. With that said, we should be waking up on day 4 very soon.
Day 4. And last night I got the skin done on these guys, so now I have to base coat everything else, and 3 days left, so I really gotta get going.
Ooh, alright. It is the morning. Well, most of the morning. I woke up, it was gray, it was rainy, it was cold, I just went back to bed. But I'm here now, and you know what? I'm so close on some of these guys, I think I can still get models finished by noon. Time to get to work.
It is the middle of the challenge, and it has been a painting extravaganza. I wonder if Jay is keeping up. Hey, how did today go?
Today kinda sucked, but it turned out okay. Today I decided to bite the bullet and rip off the band-aid and paint all the banners. With these Stormcasts, there are 3 intricate banners, and because I already painted the negative space with the airbrush gradients, I had to be an absolute surgeon and make sure there was no mistakes while painting them.
Sounds about right.
It took 5 hours to do this one banner. It's ridiculously intricate.
That sounds a lot like my day. Today I did lots and lots and lots and lots of base coating with the brush. But I did get to do a little airbrushing. I airbrushed my leather highlights, and that worked out great. It was way quicker and smoother.
Well, it sounds like all around day 4 was not much fun. Talk to you more tomorrow.
Sounds good. Talk to you later. All right, day 5. So including today, we have 3 more days to get this all done. And I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Although, I'm gonna try some oils today. And that might be quite the experiment.
All right, it's about 8:30 in the morning. And right now, I'm feeling like painting this magician. So that's what I'm gonna do. Today was a deep, dark day of painting. I wonder how it went for Nick. Hello!
Hey!
So, how did today go?
I finished the base coating and then applied a gloss varnish.
Why a glossy varnish?
So I could easily wipe away the oils I don't want. I only really want it in the recesses, and I want to keep the models bright, and sometimes an oil wash can make things too dark.
Oh nice! Today I got to work on a few of my heroes. It was super fun. No batch painting, no assembly line painting, just good old-fashioned shading and highlighting. I tried out this thing to give my magician a starry cloak. I masked her with silly putty and then used the airbrush to highlight with purple. And then still with the airbrush I spattered on some stars. Worked like a charm.
Nice. I started painting the rest of my remaining Cruel Boys. The Killaboss on Great Nashtooth and the Swamp Kala Shaman. And of course the one and only Potgrat. I used my new green skin recipe I figured out on the rest of the Cruel Boys. I did a medium green on their bodies with a turquoise from underneath as a shadow, and then a bright green from above, and then a super light green, just little spurts. On the Great Nashtooth, I decided to try a gradient from a dark purple on top to a pink flesh tone towards the feet. I also airbrushed some burnt sienna ink lightly in patches to give some variation to the skin.
Neat! There's almost no skin showing on my guys, but I've been trying to find a time-efficient way to paint white runes on the red tassels. It has been torture painting these, but I finally found a cheat using white ink. It flows off a long bristled brush onto the letters and takes way less time for cleaning up afterwards. Inks! Who knew?
Well, things are looking good for me. How about you?
Good, lots of work ahead, but should finish strong.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Day 6. 2 more days remaining, and today's gonna be kind of spooky because we're doing an oil wash. I've done oil washes in the past, but they're always just a little bit different every single time I do it, just because I'm learning. So I'm a little afraid that I might mess up all of the work that I've accomplished, but we still have 2 days, so hopefully I can fix whatever happens.
It's a little after 10. All right, kind of a lot after 10. And time to work on my Lord Imperatant because I'm not quite feeling him yet, so I want to put on some more paint until I'm happy. And then it'll be time to work on Yundrasta.
What a world we live in. I wonder how today went for Jay. Hello.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, you know. What did you work on today?
Today I got to do faces, and that was an experience. I'm not completely comfortable with faces, but I had the perfect reference material in the cover art of the big rulebook. I went slow and applied paint in minuscule layers and it really worked out. I feel like I struggle because I go too big with my brushstrokes. This time I was almost stippling, the paint strokes were so small. It really helped a lot. I even pulled off her buzzed side cut hair thing.
Really? How did you do that?
I glazed on some gray paint and then glazed on more skin tones on top.
Neat. Well, today I did lots of oil painting. I made up a bunch of different washes, a turquoise I put on the green skin, and a black wash I used for the shields, with also a red wash I used for blending. The red one was questionably useful since the black wash overpowered the red. After applying all the paints, it was a relief when I started to wipe off the oils. I thought I had ruined everything, but it turned out great in the end. It was looking so good I went in with a burnt sienna wash on the leather and metal.
Wow, an entire day of oils. You are the expert. I have barely dipped my toes into oil.
It wasn't completely oils. I went back and touched up the hobgrots a bit.
Exciting stuff. You might have overtaken me on getting stuff done.
Good. Tomorrow's the grand finale.
I know. I can't wait for this to be done. All right, see ya.
See ya.
All right, so I told Nick that I have plenty more to work on, but that was a dirty lie. I'm actually completely finished, and I'm so excited. So I think tomorrow I can look forward to a much needed day off. Super duper excited. And everything I painted turned out great. I had some of the best faces I've ever painted. I'm really happy with how the bases turned out. It's all just perfect. So I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna get up maybe a little late. We'll see what happens. Clean up a little bit, and then we'll see where the day goes.
Day 7. 7 long days of this are about to be over, and the Cruel Boys are looking really, really good. The only thing major left is the bases, and that's going to be a discovery. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, but things are looking really good, and then hopefully after that I can touch up some things and call these guys done. I got up extra early to try to get as much time as I could. I wonder if Jay did the same.
All right, easing into the day, about 11:40. What am I going to do with my day off? Because my army is completely finished, I think I'm gonna play some video games.
As much fun as I was having with FTL, I couldn't help but feel I could do more. I went into this week with the goal of painting Stormcast, and you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Well, I'm back from the Warhammer store, and I found some Griff Hounds, which look really, really cool, and a Stormcast Eternals Celestar Ballista. Really, really cool. Is it reasonable that I can get like 10 more models done in what, 8 hours? Probably not, but I'm gonna go ahead and try. So it is time to get through all of this new stuff, rip it open, start to building, and it seems, it seems like Nick is calling me. Hey, what's up?
Hey, so how's it going?
Oh, you know, it's going, just putting on the last little touches.
All right, awesome. Yeah, me as well. But I'm working on the bases right now. There's a Sigmar Marine, a Stormcast, on one of my bases, so I was wondering, how did you paint yours so I can try to replicate it on there?
I mixed the bright gold with Imperial Hobby Colors Sizes Metal Base. Do you have that color?
Nope.
Okay, well, you can find your brightest silver and your brightest gold and just mix those two 50-50. And then dry brush that on top.
Okay. Well, I painted up the Stormcast to Jay's specifications the best I could. And then I finished up the day fixing models and doing bases. I painted the bases a dark brown with patches of light brown. I painted all the ruins a dark gray and gave them a brown wash. To highlight the texture on the ruins and bases, I gave them both a dry brushing of a light gray. And then to bring up the ruins even more, I dry brushed pure white. Now, I thought the ground texture was a little too bright, so I watered down black paint and applied that to the whole base. And I applied lots of flock and grass tufts, which really made the bases pop. Look at that, not too shabby. Another thing that really helped was dry brushing the brightest silver I could find on all the metal parts. This made them stand out so much it was crazy. And also on the shield, I did a verdigris effect with some blue paint and water, so it looked like the metal was oxidizing. At this point, I was looking for the last 15% I could do to take the models over the top. On the leather, I did a light dry brushing of white to make it look more rough. As I was painting the rim of the bases with a dark gray, time ran out. I'm sure Jay probably finished hours ago and is lounging.
Nope, this sucked. I was painting as fast and furiously as I could, and I was getting pretty close to finishing, but the clock ran out of time.
All right, that is it. Pencils down, everyone. What a week. Nick, what did you think about it?
It sucked.
Well, I don't know about that, but it definitely had its ups and downs. Painting for over 10 hours a day for 7 days straight takes a dramatic physical toll. But we got a lot accomplished. We have a lot of progress made, and we have some work to show off. Would you like to go first?
All right, sounds good. Boom.
Wow! Holy moly.
I'm really excited to have a fully painted Age of Sigmar army. I actually followed through with a project where I didn't let my fears of perfection stop me. Although I've been painting Warhammer models for years, I felt like everything I tried out on these Cruel Boys was the first time. Like using the airbrush and doing oil washes. The time limit helped me make quick decisions that would have taken me forever to figure out normally. And even though I had a disaster with my green paints not covering, I was able to work through it. Where if I was painting on my own, I might have stopped and moved on to something else.
Wow, these guys are neat. They're creepy. They're spindly, and they have weird proportions. You know, some would say they look a little bit like the orcs from Lord of the Rings. I don't know if I see it that much. That is a fair amount of orcs. It makes a nice little pile.
All right, well, let's look at your Space Marines.
Well, they're not Space Marines. They're Stormcast Eternals, but... Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, wow, look at those.
This felt a little like a repeat of painting my Necrons, models that are mostly one color. It was so simple that I had a lot of fun doing it. I think the blue and red really tie it all together, and I even got to flex my painting muscles a little bit by painting a bunch of faces. I think I'm really improving. It was hard picking a paint scheme, but nothing simplifies choice like a time crunch. And I don't know if I had agonized over it if it would really have turned out much better. I now have a Stormcast Eternal army, and I even cheated and bought and almost finished more. I would say the Ballista is 90% done, and the Gryph-hounds are more like 50.
Wow. Is this from the Age of Sigmar set?
It is from Age of Sigmar.
I don't know if that's
possible that I may have purchased even more models.
How many more models did you buy?
I got this one and these fellas, and then I also bought these 6 Gryph-hounds. I didn't finish all the new stuff, but I finished the Ballista and got halfway on the Gryph-hounds.
Wow.
Mostly airbrush.
Yeah. All right, so we have a week under our belt. What is something that you discovered while painting?
I rediscovered the joys of batch painting. For years, I have done single units or single models, and so I've been doing a lot of layering, highlighting, shading, shadowing, individual edge highlighting, but when you do army painting, there is a real fun thing you can do where individual steps that would actually take a long time per mini, like dry brushing and airbrushing, all of a sudden, since you're doing that one step to an entire bunch of guys, you're adding very little time and you're getting a lot done. And so individual steps took a really small amount of time and they led to tons of progress because I was doing all the dry brushing of the gold, all of the washing on the cloaks, all of the airbrushing on their armor. It was really neat. I want to do more of it.
Awesome.
Well, was there anything that you discovered this week?
Yeah. The big thing that I learned this week is I can really trust myself with the airbrush. Even though I was having a problem painting the green on these boys, I was able to be a little bit more precise and airbrush the green around all of the leather bits. And I think it worked out really nice. And it's really nice just having a bunch of finished models. And now it really makes me want to work on the Gloomspite kits. And that's only 22 models. So it should be a lot easier than 34.
Obviously, you can paint alone, but it's way more fun and motivating to paint with a friend. To have someone to share the joys and sorrows and be building towards a goal together. We will play Age of Sigmar, and because we were painting it together, it got done. So we have finished painted armies, 100%. for about the first time ever. I never thought this day would come.
So, we have the models, we have the rules. Do you want to play Age of Sigmar?
No, I want to go home and go to bed.
Well, that was our Dominion 1 week challenge. We had a lot of fun painting all this stuff. Dominion has some really cool models in it. Please let me know in the comments below what were your favorite moments, and did you make any discoveries along with us? I know I did. We finished a lot of models, and so has the EOB Complete community.
We put out a challenge to our community to send us before and after photos of their recently finished models to be immortalized in our videos. If you want to join in the fun, you can submit a before and after photo of your painted mini to our Discord server, which you can find in the description below, or you can post it to Instagram with the hashtag EOBComplete. Without further ado, let's look at and get inspired by what the folks have finished this week.
An entire Indominus box by Rogel Dorn, a Stormcast Eternal by Mommy Negan, a Leviathan Dreadnought by Lucifer Hawk, a squad of Chaos Space Marines by Orange, a Lieutenant in Phobos Armor by Vega Wesky, some Dark Eldar Grotesques by Fuck Bobby Marketing Head, a Morven Vol by Craft Singles in Your Area, a Slanesh Sorcerer by Ergo, a Triumph of St. Catherine by Dark Lord Budish, a Commissar Derek by Just Make Stuff, a Tech Priest Dominus by Rout the Great, a Chewbacca by The Happy Heretic, a Warrior Zula by Disco, an entire Recruit box by Bruck, some 30k Medusa Immortals by Joe Dracos, a Terminator with Lightning Claws by Mr. V Max Jr., some Necron Lichguard by Sir Smashy, some Adeptus Custodes Bikers by Jay Reiki, a Sentinel Walker by Alex Smith, a Primaris Space Marine by Jackal, some Salamander Space Marines by Duplicorn, a Baneblade Tank by Dancing of Doom, a Redemptor Dreadnought by Matt K421, some Tau by Woe77, and a Yundrasta by Grax. Congratulations to everyone for a job well done. It's no small feat to get paint on minis, and you all should feel really proud. Nothing gets the hobby juices flowing like finishing a project when we all thank you for sharing your work, motivating us and the hobby community to paint our plastic. Thanks for sharing.